between now to 3 o'clock, we are under a weather impact alert. And the reason why, not only are we tracking some heavy downpours, frequent lightning, gusty winds will be possible, and so will pea-sized hail. The radar has significantly filled in over the last hour and 2 hours. And this is what I'm expecting now through about lunchtime today. So when some of these downpours come across your area, with saturated grounds, lightning and some gusty winds, power outages may become a concern as well. So this is, if you don't have our KHOU 11 app, make sure you download it. If you lose power, you can always stream us. That's one way. Maybe you're doing that now. Maybe this popped up for you, but you want to download that. And in case we see any warnings, right now there are no watches, no warnings in place, but just the radar completely filled in. I mean, now even on the north side, so up 45 northbound into Montgomery County, we're seeing red on the radar. 290 in town, I-10 westbound, I-10 eastbound is starting to fill in as well. And then all areas in southern Harris County, Fort Bend, Wharton, Matagorda, and Brazoria County. All this is moving in from the southwest. So originally this was out of Corpus Christi, Port Lavaca, continued to fill in from Victoria, Wharton, and Matagorda County. And now notice how all of this is streaming in on the south side. But again, right now, no watches, no warnings to tell you about. Some of our rainfall rates are between about 1/2 to 1.5 inches of rain. So at times you could be dealing with some blinding rain, heavy downpours that can reduce your visibilities. You want to slow your speeds. If you plan to do anything outside today, you have a quick plan B, because I'm not expecting much of a change here now through about lunchtime. It's going to be later afternoon. That's when I think most of the rain chance will start to weaken. So Gulf Freeway, wow, we had a thunderstorm just about an hour ago in League City that was producing hail. We got some great video out of League City of some hail. It was about pea size to even about quarter size hail. Then notice now filling in across Montgomery County as well. This will push into Walker County, and from Bryan College Station, they're picking up on a complex of storms that actually raced across I-35. So I was watching two different areas this morning from about 4 to 6 o'clock, and then it started to push in here locally. As far as how much rain we've received, there are different totals between about 1/2 to even upwards of several spots, 1.5 inches of rain over the past 24 hours. Take a look though, near El Campo in Wharton County, over 4 inches of rain. So the ground is really, really saturated, and these storms are going to continue. Now I'll take you down to street level. Here is Spring Branch, so closer, Martin Court now, over 1 inch of rain. These totals actually started at midnight, so it's only taking into account of what we've seen this morning. Pine Chase Drive, though, 0.3 of an inch. So even when you go street level, take a look at how different some of these rain totals can be, and you can see that's how much of a change it can be from where a downpour is over your house and then down the street. Pebblebrook Drive, 0.8 of an inch, and then you go down the street to Overbrook Lane, you're down to about 1/2 an inch. So I would say accumulations right now so far for the morning between about 1/2 to 1.5 inches of rain. This can easily cause ponding, quick high water spots, and now that the ground is saturated, if we do pick up any more totals over 1 inch, that could create a quick high water spot. So keep your guard up through your lunchtime, maybe even early afternoon. This is why there's a weather impact alert now through 3 o'clock. If these thunderstorms die down a little bit earlier, we can shorten this, but keep your guard up now through 3 o'clock, right through your lunchtime hour. I think that's when the peak of some of these storms will be. I think that'll be the best chance to see maybe a quick high water spot. As far as the severe weather potential, on a scale of 1 to 5, the Storm Prediction Center issues this. We're under a level 1. So what we're seeing right now is what I'm expecting as far as the severe potential. Frequent lightning, gusty winds, heavy downpours, and even the potential of that pea-sized hail. As far as the flood risk goes, we're under a level 2. So that's a slight risk. That's a level 2 out of 4 as far as the flood potential. So ponding and a quick high water spot is possible, and that's what we'll continue to monitor throughout the morning hours. Live look outside. So just a couple of hours ago, I showed you the shot. Great visibilities. We were mostly dry across the board. Now that the rain is completely filled in, notice how the clouds are completely covering the skyline. So reduced visibilities. Look up the kick-up spray from the cars moving, how slow everybody is along the Gulf Freeway. Galveston, similar there. Look at Seawall Boulevard. Okay, it's wet. Clouds are building in. Showers and thunderstorms will continue. And then right across Hobby Airport, we had some really heavy rain across Hobby Airport. Now it looks like it's breaking just a little bit, but still the potential is there. You can still see some of the kick-up spray, cars moving a little bit slower. And really, that's the bottom line for today. Today, we will see the best chance for some of these thunderstorms now, right throughout your lunchtime hour. Then I think about 4 or 5 o'clock, we may get a little bit of a break. break. Notice the rest of the week, rain chances are still there, but I think how the overall coverage, how area-wide it is, it'll be a little bit more isolated in nature. Let me get you back to the radar. Let's go over there, over the radar just a little bit in case you popped in a little bit later. It's 9:07 now, and what I'll do is I'll kind of walk you a little bit more neighborhood by neighborhood. So let's first go here on the northwest side, 290 from Waller to Cypress to Jersey Village. Boy, 290 is lit up in red right now. This is easily where we could be picking up a quick inch or more of rain. Take a look at the lightning strikes. Now, no hail is detected in these thunderstorms, but we will be watching out for that. Now, I'll take you over here closer to IAH. You know, the other night when we had those strong thunderstorms move through towards Umberland and Atascocita, we had several reports of wind gusts over 50 miles per hour. Right now, what I'm tracking is some heavy rain potentially leading into 69. That's leading into Humble towards Atascocita. There's some moderate to heavy rainfall, but notice not as strong. We are maybe looking at wind gusts right now up to about 35 to 40. Let's zoom in across the loop. This is where it has consistently been raining all morning long, and you can see some of the red. Now, this is expected to go in and out. You know, you may catch some really heavy downpours, then it'll start to weaken a little bit, maybe some spotty showers, and then some of these thunderstorms could build back in. But across the loop, not much lightning right now. Some of the thunderstorms that I was tracking, especially on the east side there of 45, was really heavy about 30 minutes ago. It started to weaken just a little bit. Now, let's get into the Gulf Freeway. We have had pounding rain along the Gulf Freeway. Let me zoom in where it is now. Towards Olcott, Friendswood. If you're in Friendswood watching right now, pouring blinding rain. League City, you've seen rounds of some heavy rain. Take a look at the lightning right along the Gulf Freeway as well. So that is making for a really messy drive in. If you know anybody that typically drives right now, maybe leaves from League City, maybe Dickinson, Texas City, towards Bay Cliff or Seabrook, Shore Acres. These are all areas that once you get on 45 and you head up into downtown, it's going to be a very messy drive in. And you can see that hangs right into, right along the Beltway into 288. I'll take you right along 288, broaden out the scope a little bit just so you can get perspective here. It doesn't matter, all along Brazoria County, you're dealing with moderate to heavy downpours. And notice how the heavy downpours, you know, it's not as concentrated. Just maybe 30 minutes ago, I would show you these isolated areas of these really heavy downpours. And now it's becoming a little bit more widespread. So one, it shows me the complex of storms is weakening just a little bit. It's not as concentrated as what I was tracking. And then notice how behind this, I'm actually going to pause the radar, and I want to give you an overall bigger perspective. You know, the complex of storms moved originally out of Corpus Christi and then right up along the Texas coastline, again from Victoria, from Port Lavaca into Matagorda and Wharton County. Notice how now the back edge side is moving over Victoria, and this is what we'll be pushing through. So the timeline is maybe just a little bit earlier than what I thought this morning, where we're getting some of the heavier downpours, some of the most of the lightning happening now, and that'll probably continue through about lunchtime today. But then see, it's going to weaken once we get into the afternoon, and that timeline may be just a little bit earlier as well. So you can think after about 1, 2, 3 o'clock for sure. I think most of these thunderstorms are out of here. I mean, the back edge of this is right over Victoria, and this is going to move west to east. The line, though, of lightning, a big chunk of that energy is offshore. So this is out along the coast right now, but I'll zoom in because that's an area right south in Brazoria County. Look at the cluster of storms and some of the lightning there. So overall, we don't have any watches or warnings. I'll put on the layer to see if we have any significant weather to look out for. And, you know, really right now, or along 288, I would say this is the heaviest rain right now from Liverpool to Angleton. Here's 288. Then as you approach the city, you know, we're still very capable to see some very heavy downpours, a lot of lightning. Okay, take a look. They've issued a flood advisory. The National Weather Service has. This is in effect for portions of Harris, Galveston, Fort Bend, and Brazoria County. And this is all thanks to saturated grounds and any rain that we see on top of this. You know, we've had now several days in a row where we've seen consistent rainfall. So if you pick up 2 inches of rain and then another day where you pick up another 1.5 to 2 inches of rain, it only takes a little bit more than that to see some ponding or a quick high water spot, which that will basically be the case today. I'll put the radar loop back on. So in case you're wanting to get, again, that big perspective, the complex of storms in Bryan-College Station, this originated across I-35. Everything else is moving out from the southwest and driving to the northeast. So Liberty County, San Jacinto, Polk County, Walker County, you haven't seen much so far. It is heading your direction. The line that you see here with the lightning, that should continue to drive from the southwest to the northeast as well. So that'll be pushing into the Texas-Louisiana border just after lunchtime today. But you need to keep your guard up. That's why we are under that weather impact alert now through about 3 o'clock this afternoon. I'll zoom in one more time, then we'll get a check of the roads. I know Jen Reyna has been tracking that for you all morning long, and it's been messy. Roads are messy. You can see why. Look at all this rain. But we have rain, again, drenched all across the area. It really doesn't matter where you are at this point. You have rain across the area, and some of this is going to be some heavy downpours, a quick 1 to 2 inches of rain, frequent lightning. Take a look right along 290. If you're in Cypress right now to Waller, yeah, that's a lot of lightning. You know, this is an area when I see a thunderstorm like that developing that I'm saying, hey, heads up, potentially pea-sized hail could be possible passing over 290. Otherwise, you know, these thunderstorms, you want to stay inside. We are going to keep you posted here if we do see any active alerts. We'll push those over to your phone. We'll jump on the live stream as well. All right, let me kick it over to Jen Reyna. We'll get a check out of the traffic.
Yep, Cheetah, I'm here, yep.
It's been messy. I know it has.
Yeah, right about this hour, though, traffic seems to simmer down. And really, I have been seeing exactly that. Yes, roads are wet, and yes, it is slow going. But mainly in downtown Houston, over on the West Loop, inside of 610 along the Katy, and the 610 North Loop. And those are all spots that are generally busy right about this time. I mean, you've got a little bit of traffic near IAH, that's typical. A little bit of traffic leaving Pearland, again, that is typical. We are seeing the rain come down from Waller, Cypress, Jersey Village. So 290 is very slick. So is it on the northwest part of 99. And this would be the West Sam Houston Tollway where it turns into the North Beltway. So we do want you to use extra caution and make sure that your tire tread is ready to go so that you have the traction needed. You don't want to brake too hard. Always think about easing up on the accelerator and keep your cell phones down. Katy from 99, it's going to be busy all the way into downtown. Basically, it's probably one of the longest drive times. Eastsiders, we have typical delays along the East Sam Houston Tollway southbound at the bridge. And of course, rain conditions stretch from 90 on the east here in Cloverleaf, pushing down to 225 just north of the Deer Park area. Here are some of our camera shots. This is the West Loop at Post Oak. We had an earlier problem, so that really didn't help things out near the Galleria. Soggy at 69 and Beachnet, but all HOV lanes seem to be moving well. We have no major crashes and no high water spots reported at this very moment, according to Houston TransStar. Here are your current drive times as we look at 9:15 in the morning. 52 minutes in from the Woodlands. Baytown, you're looking at 32 minutes down I-10. Katy at one of the longest drive times, almost an hour. That's a lot of typical 9 a.m. traffic, plus the combination of people going slower than normal, as we've advised, with slick road conditions. West Park also busy throughout the Alief area. Thanks for tuning in. Take care.